Shalom, shalom, peuple de Dieu. C'est bien moi, maman Gisèle Mboumonko depuis la Hollande. Suivez-moi sur The True World TV et que le Seigneur vous bénisse.
Keep watching The True World TV.
Lion of Judah, my trust is in you. Ancient of days, my trust is in you. I am that I am, God, my trust is in you. Lily of the valley, my trust is in you. Hey, I put them all in you. Oh yeah, my trust is in you. I put them all in you, Jesus. I put them all in you. Hey, my trust is in you. See my baby, yeah, yeah. I put them all in you. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. My trust is in you. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. I put them all. I put them all in you. My trust is in you. He see can do. My trust is in you. Oh, yigi yigi baba yo. My trust is in you. Sariki dunia. My trust is in you. Hey ya, esibala bamoti eleboda na no. Hey namo siamote na. Hey. My miracle walking God, my trust is in you. King of glory, my trust is in you. Oh, Bada, Bada, my Father, my trust is in you. Hey, I put them on you. My trust is in you. I put them all in you. Jesus, yeah. Oh, hey. My trust is in you. Hey, yeah, yeah. I put them all in you now. Yeah. My trust is in you. Isubi amambete ya lebo siyande. Hey, Baba. My trust is in you. Oh, oh. Kabiosi, oh, Baba. My trust is in you.
Welcome again to the Health Chat Show. This is a Claudine Saromo, and we just want to thank you again for connecting with us. And today is another Tuesday. We always meet here to talk matters that related to our health and our well-being. So I hope you are all going to have good time with us and have a guest. Always I do try to have a guest with us, somebody always will come here to share with us on topics that always related to our health and our well-being. So I just want to invite all of you guys to share the link so that we can all be connected. Yeah, so I'm not alone in the studio. I have a guest, and I would love to invite the guest to just present herself.
Thank you so much, Madam Claudine. Thank you for always inviting me My name is Yowande Peters. I'm a sexuality and reproductive health facilitator at SERC, and SERC means Sexuality Education Resource Center. We're at 169 Shibrook Street. Yeah.
Oh, we are neighbors.
Yeah, very close by. Thank you so much for having me.
Wow, good. Thank you so much, Yowande. It's always a pleasure to have you here, and thank you so much for accepting my invitation at the last minute. I think I can see you are really somebody who's into the community. Like when they call you to say, like, you know, let's come, let's do something for our community, I can see you are always ready to go. So that's the spirit we should have. You know, as a community, we need to really educate one another and, you know, share, you know, information that, you know, would help us to improve our health and our well-being. And yeah, so how has the work been so far in the community?
We've been in a period that has been unprecedented. The unprecedented times have really impacted on work, on everybody, you know. COVID-19 hasn't been the best times for us because a lot of people, we're all stuck at home, social distancing, now it's physical distancing, and many more. With the current increase of COVID incidences, cases in Manitoba too, or Winnipeg as it were, it puts in a lot of strain with community work. However, we try to reach out via the available technology platforms to us. We still take sessions over Zoom. Yeah, we still have sessions over Zoom. We did a few in-person sessions, but it hasn't been like the same, you know. So we're trying. We're looking forward to when these times will end because we all want to be out there. We want to socialize. We missed socializing, you know. Yeah. We miss socializing.
No, I understand you. You know what? It seems like it's a lifestyle. So we're going to all have to learn to adapt it, to learn to just, to love the new lifestyle, to learn to, like, to match our mask with our clothes. I'm seeing it out there. It's one way to show it. You know what? We are into it. Like, you know, let's just go and have fun, you know. It's always good to try to accept situation or circumstances that you find yourself in, especially when you know you don't have no power to change it. Why can you just accept it, right? Yeah. So today we're going to be talking about a very interesting, healthy relationship. Wow. So, like, when I think about a healthy relationship, I start to think like, okay, is it going to be a relationship with a spouse? Is this going to be a relationship with children? Because the relationship is in a variety categories. Absolutely. So would you just tell us a little bit what kind of relationship are we going to be focusing on today?
Okay, so let me start by saying that as you know, I said earlier that we're social beings. Human beings are social beings. And because of that, we all want to be in one relationship or the other. Because we're social beings, we love to interact with different people. The main two relationships that I normally pitch is the intra and the inter relationship. And when I talk about intra relationship, I refer to it as the one that you have with yourself. You know, you don't give what you don't have. So if you don't have a relationship with yourself, if you're not in a good state of mind with yourself, it becomes difficult to interact with people. And that brings me to the second type of relationship, which is inter-relationship.
Before you go to the second type, so you say like the relationship, intra-relationship means the relationship with yourself. Can you elaborate more on that? Because it seems to be very interesting, because the relationship, as you say, you can only give what you got. So it's like you tell us a little bit more about how we can have like a relationship with ourselves.
Okay, so a lot of people think that having a relationship with yourself is being selfish, and I say no. And the reason being that an intra-relationship is being at peace with yourself, you know, liking the person that you are or you have become, choosing to improve on what you have become, you know. And if you don't, okay, so when you say, oh, I'm no longer in a relationship with that person, people fall out of relationship with their families, right? Okay, so you can also fall out of relationship with yourself. That's when people begin to do some extreme things to themselves. They begin to hurt themselves, you know. And people, you hear people say, oh, I think that I need somebody to help me. Yes, to some extent, yeah, sometimes it's good to seek support, but you need to have that internal, you need to have it settled within yourself first. That, okay, you are in a good state, you are somewhere that is good, that can enable you interact effectively with others. So you can seek out, people read books, you know, join trainings and all that, but it's all geared towards being a better person, having a better relationship with oneself. So again, I always say, you don't give what you don't have.
Oh, thank you so much. I really like how you really talked about this. So our topic today is relationship, you know, healthy relationship. You know, I didn't even know that we can have a relationship with ourselves. You know, I am learning something today. So she just said that, you know, you need to have a relationship with yourself. And what does relationship with yourself means? You have to love yourself for who you are. Love yourself for who you have become. Sometimes I see some people, they say, oh, you know, I used to be skinny, now I have these kids, I'm this, you know. You know, you're going to have to be able to love yourself. Like, whatever you see is all about you, and love yourself, and that's everything begin there. And if you don't love yourself, it's going to be hard to love somebody else. And she mentioned something else, is like loving yourself is all about being at peace with yourself. You know, feeling that you are at peace with yourself. And the peace, you can decide to give yourself peace by having the power and the capacity to accept yourself for who you are, to accept yourself for who you have become, to accept the circumstances that surrounding yourself. Because from that circumstances, you know, some circumstances come to our life to teach us a lesson, to strengthen us, maybe to open us to new ideas that we did not have. So more things, we have to be resilient, you know, empower ourselves, love ourselves, you know. I always say, sometimes I'll be like, yeah, I really like my hair. I really like this. Like, sometimes people, we do fail to love ourselves because we want to go by what other people think about us.
Yeah.
You are there. Instead of think about you, you think about, oh yeah, I'm in the mirror, I'm doing my makeup. What is that person gonna think when they see? You know what? You should never ever worry about what somebody else think about you. You have to be yourself and be who you are. Because by trying to be who you are not, there is something that, you know, you are taking away from yourself. There is a special ingredient that makes you who you are. That is what you have to cherish. If you are somebody who loves dancing, go ahead and dance. Come on, do it. You don't have to think about, oh, if I dance, what is that someone is going to say? What someone is going to think? You know, I do TikTok. Do you know TikTok?
Okay. That is good.
Guess what? It's crazy. But when I do it, oh, you should be surprised how it makes me feel. It makes me feel like, you know, I'm like, you know, 20 years old because I'm, you know, I'm doing something. You know, all those things that is part of loving myself.
Yeah.
I know how to think about what is that person going to think when they see me TikTok. Wow. Oh, I know.
You feel good.
It makes me feel good. Who cares what somebody else think? That's great. So all of you are listening to us. You guys, go ahead and love yourself, man. Do things that are pleasing you, you know. And she says something, especially in our society, they say, oh, when you love yourself, you are selfish. Hey.
No. Even the Bible talks about loving your neighbor as yourself. That's Mark 12:31. You know, love your neighbor as yourself. So that means that there is an expectation that you should love yourself.
That's right. Yeah, that's what they're saying. Like, for you to be compassion, to have the compassion, what does the compassion mean? That what you feel about yourself, you want the other person to feel the same way. Then if you don't have a way to love yourself, you're going to have no compassion with somebody else. So this is so powerful for us to know, especially in this situation, these circumstances that we are all finding ourselves in with all this COVID. There's a lot of things that comes up in our mind, and whereby we really require us to love ourselves, to love the circumstances that is surrounding us, find what is positive in this COVID-19, what is positive in studying at home, what is positive in working at home. All those things contribute in the way that you love yourself and you love your present and your now.
Yeah.
Never mind about what is tomorrow. That's so great and so important. The second point you are going to elaborate on.
Okay.
This was the intra.
Yeah, we've just finished talking about the intra. Now we'll go on to the inter.
Inter.
Yes, the inter relationship. Everybody seeks to be loved too. You know, you love yourself and you want to be loved. So we have different types. You have the mother-to-child relationship, family relationship. You have the relationship with your friends in school. You have relationship with your teacher. You have romantic relationships as well.
You are talking now. Because, you know, when we talk about the relationship, all of us will understand the romantic relationship.
Yeah. So you have romantic relationship. A lot of people love to be in romantic relationship because somehow we grew up having in families. Somehow we grew up, we're born into a family, so there's definitely a mother to child or a family kind of relationship. You socialize with people in school, at work. You are there with your teacher, your neighbors. You know, those people are always there. However, a lot of people seek for that romantic relationship, and unfortunately people enter into relationships that can sometimes be toxic. Some relationships can be toxic, they can be unhealthy, there can be assault, you know, just in the bid to feel loved, you know. And that's why I said that you need to first love yourself before you know, it's just there's just some attraction that comes with it. I don't know how it is, but there is no science to it. Let me quickly say that there is no science to it. But when you love yourself, it's just, you set yourself standards, and you don't need an approval from anybody. No approval. No approval from anybody, you know. And when we seek for romantic relationships, I always say when I have my sessions that what does a healthy relationship look like? You know, and I hear different things, interesting things, but one of the I usually talk a lot about 5 points. I raise it with them that, you know, to have a healthy relationship, there has to be trust. There has to be commitment. Because you commit time to something that you love. So if you love yourself, you commit time to develop yourself, right? So if you're in a romantic relationship and there's no form of commitment, somebody's always busy and all that, you might need to check it again. You need to trust. There is a quality nobody is bigger than the next person. We're all human beings. And at the end of the day, God does not know whether you're a man or a woman. We're all judged at the end of the day.
Yeah,
so
that's the truth.
there is equality. You know boundaries. Yes, you are committed to somebody and all that, but there has to be boundaries. The person needs to know that, okay, these are the things that you don't like. So they need to value your boundaries. You know, and understanding, you know, if somebody trusts, they commit, they acknowledge the boundaries, you know, every other thing will just fall in place. And there is equality. Okay, so it just falls, everything just falls in place, you know, like that. You know, and that's, now I'm talking about a romantic relationship.
Okay, let's go back a little bit, because, you know, as you say, most of people, when they talk about relationship, they automatically see romantic relationship. So when they don't have that romantic relationship, they feel like a part of their life is not there. But they forget that the relationship is not only romantic. You know, the relationship with your friends. A friend can be really part of your life, can make you day, can bring pleasure in your life more than even that romantic relationship. Relationship in the family is so important.
Very important.
We can never stress it out enough for all who are following us. Relationship within family is so important. Relationship with your brother, with your sister, with your cousin, with your wife, your husband. Relationship is something that all of us, we are longing for. We are all created with that hunger, feeling that you need to be loved, you need to belong to. So before you can think about being loved by a significant one, special one, you need to think about love in the relationship with your family. If you do not know how to maintain a good relationship with your family, if you don't know how to love and to cherish your family, you're not gonna know what to do to keep that relationship with you significant, special one, like with your romantic relationship. So it is so important that the relationship in our families really get to be something that we put our mind on, right? So tell me, what do you think about, you know, those broken families? You find like in the family, mother, children, brother, you know, they all live together, but no one talk to each other. Tell me, how do you expect to have a healthy romantic relationship when you cannot tolerate your brother, you cannot tolerate your mother, you cannot tolerate your child? How are you going to build even that relationship out there? You know, so what is seen into the relationship, especially for our kids and their mother? Can you tell us a little bit about the relationship, especially between children and the parents? And that is something that really affects the life of many, especially in this world where we are in, with different culture. You are a child, being raised with a parent who is from different culture, from to the one that you are growing in. There's already that conflict between the parent and the kids.
Absolutely.
What would you want to tell, especially our young kids, what they think about is the romantic relationship, without think about if they fail to build that relationship, it may be even not harder to build the romantic relationship, because why? That person is not your brother or your mother, it's a stranger that you're falling in love with. That person may have his own things that you agree or you disagree on. The same way, maybe you have something that you agree and you disagree on with your parents, something like that. So how do you think, what would you advise to the young kids to try to have a healthy relationship from the basic, from home, so that they can be able to build up?
Okay, so there's a saying that goes thus, that charity begins at home. Okay, so love begins at home. If there is no charity at home, then I don't know how such a person will be able to translate it into romantic relationship. And a lot of times we tell people in socialization, the smallest unit or the first contact of love is at the family level for children. So children, if parents do not show love to their kids at that smallest unit, the first contact and the smallest unit is the family unit, you know, for them. If they don't experience love at that level, then it becomes difficult for them when they grow up to show love. You know, they don't know any life better, so it's not their fault for those children. So we, the parents, even if we experienced some hardship growing up, or we didn't experience love growing up, let's make conscious efforts. You know, we're now adults, right? Thank God we've overcome whatever it is that we might have gone through. But let's not continue with the same vicious cycle, you know, having the same kind of relationships that wasn't really cordial, you know, go on from generation to generation, you know. Again, parents need to also be careful of children rivalry when bringing up their kids, you know. There's a place of having a relationship with your parents, and there's a place of also making sure that the children love themselves, because, you know, you find some families that children have good relationship with their parents, but
no relationship with themselves.
With the kids, you know, over the years, they've been raised to compete with themselves. And that comes in the place of comparing kids. We are individuals. We have our individuality. We have our strengths. We have our weaknesses. You know, so parents, the two things parents need. I put the responsibility on parents because kids come to this world and don't know anything.
They're innocent.
They're innocent. So there's really nothing. If you don't teach them, they don't know. You know. You need to first, I have sessions when I talk about, when I say, what comes to mind when you hear the word dating? The first thing all those kids think about is dates with their girlfriends and all that. I'm like, okay, don't you ever have dates with your parents? I mean, your mom, your mom just calls you, let's go out on a date. Let's go for coffee. They're like, oh, that's true. You know, for those, we need to consciously start doing that with our kids, you know, so that they themselves, they feel safe, they're confident of themselves, they self-esteem, and that would somewhat reduce the risk of getting into toxic relationships, you know, in the future. So two things: having a relationship with the parents and making sure that there is no unhealthy relationship among the children as well. Children rivalry is something that parents a lot of times don't know how to, they unconsciously don't know how to manage it. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Yowande. You are really talking to us, especially parents. Our topic today, we are talking about a healthy relationship at all levels. So in our homes, in our workplace, maybe at school, you know, romantic relationship. She says something that is very, very important about, you know, relationship that starts at home. And, you know, how this word, you know, dating, you know, these kids, they grow up, as you say, they come on this world, they are innocent. Everything that they hear there, we are the one who have to give them guidance. They hear the word dating. If we don't show them that dating, you can be dating me, you can date your dad, you can date your sister, you can take a special time. Dating basically is a it's a special time that you set aside if a significant somebody else, other than think about dating. It's all about having in those intimate relationship date. Because I remember my kids, you know, I like these Canadian kids. That's just amazing. They're so cool. They'll tell you, I say, Mommy, I haven't seen you going for a date with Daddy for a while. I was like, baby, we have been so busy, but we are planning to go for a date. So when we plan to go, when we go out, they will tell them, I say, girls, Mommy and Daddy, they are going for a date. Oh, yeah. Oh, Mommy, we are so happy for you. We are so excited for you. Then you can see, then they will be like, when we are there, was, Mommy, Daddy, how is the date going? Do you understand? So we have been saying, like, what can we do to have this friend relationship, healthy relationship with our kids? I think this word dating, we need to really learn how to apply in our everyday life, in our relationship with our children. Because if the children, they don't learn how to date their parents, you know, when you go for a date with your daughter, you talk about everything and nothing. Yeah. So if they did not learn how to date their parent, their dad, their mom, they may not know how to date their significant loved one when they get there at a certain age. So parents who are listening to us, so we are being reminded that we don't only date our husband or our wife. We can have a date time with our daughters, with our sons, just to go out there as two, to just talk about, you know, life, what's up, what's going on with you. So, you know, these kids, they adapt so well. Once you tell them you're going for a date, they know exactly that you're going for a talk. Yeah. Then you're gonna know about them, and you know, and also parents, we need to tell our kids what is going on with ourselves. Yeah. You know, so they can feel that, oh, this is a family, this is a relationship. You know, you'll see some families, they'll be like, maybe your family plan to buy a house. You know, it's good to take your son or your daughter for a date. I say, guess what? We are buying a house. Wow! Let's bring that excitement. Yeah. So they know they are part of what is going on in their family, and that's really part of the healthy relationship within the family. And also listen to these kids. They have ideas. Absolutely. They have ideas. Yes. My two little ones, 9 and 10, they have ideas when they bring them. We are learning not to just shut them up. Listen to them and say, like, okay, this is what you are saying. Okay, let's try. Let's see. My girls will tell me, Mommy, let's have mother-daughter dating. Absolutely. That term, where did they get it from? They know it. Mm-hmm. So when they bring it to me, I do take time. I take them to mother-daughter dating, and they will say, oh, we want to go have our nails done. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I'll take them to the place where they do the nails, and that day, man, I think they'll write that date in the book. It makes their life. So all those are the things that we do to learn a healthy relationship. So I want you to go deeper about how the healthy relationship looks like. You know those categories you are talking about? So we want people who are following us to understand how to eliminate. You know, sometimes I always tell young girls, like, you know, when you want to bring somebody into that intimate relationship with you, just behave as if you are a manager. You are hiring somebody, you know, into your company. You want to have a checklist. What qualities do you want in this special somebody? Because if you date blindly, any guy that will say, hey, what's up, can we go for coffee? If you don't know what you're looking for, he's going to tell you. Some of those people, they have very nice sweet talk. Oh? So from the sweet talk, you can be sold out. And before you know, you are in trouble, you know. So can you tell us about those steps of healthy relationship, how to eliminate? Maybe how do you know this person is abusive? Because most of people, they get into an abusive relationship, you know, because maybe they didn't have no strategy on how do I eliminate when this guy has expressed his intention to me? Like, I'm talking about guys, because girls, most of the time, we wait for guys to approach us. In some rare cases, girls do approach guys. But even though when the girls do approach guys, they have to know exactly what am I looking for in this relationship. Okay. So can you tell us more?
Whenever I talk about unhealthy relationship, I just go straight that the opposite of healthy relationship is unhealthy relationship. So everything that we find in the healthy relationship, just think about the opposite of it. So when we talk about trust, then unhealthy is mistrust. You begin to think that, okay, there is something that is not so clear about this person. In terms of honesty, if somebody's integrity has to be questioned, are you sure it's something you want to get into?
How do you know it's not being honest? Because these people, they set you up.
Okay. It's just, you see, when somebody is dishonest, it's very easy.
How?
Okay. When you have to lie, you use lies to cover lies, right? So they keep covering up lies. And you know what? How to get them? Ask them the first question again. It's going to be another answer you get.
Are you getting it?
The first question you asked, they probably have lied about it. Then you ask the second question, they give you another lie. By the time you're asking the third, fourth question, go back to that first one. They probably have forgotten what they said initially, because it's a lie. If it's true, truth will always be the same thing. You know, if it's A, it's A. But if you've said B, then you're trying to remember that you didn't say E or D or F, or, you know,
then you're lying.
Then you know that you're lying. So the truth is always the truth, you know. So that is something that is critical. Another thing I like to say, that most of the unhealthy relationships that people get into is premised around control, power and control. Why is somebody lying in the first instance? Why? It's because they want to have some level of control, power over the next person. That's why they will want to lie to the next person, you know. So if you want to be truthful, there's no reason for
you to lie.
There's no reason for that, you know. It's so, a lot of times within the relationship, within the fabric of relationship, when we're talking about relationship building, if you take a closer look to it, if you observe that someone is in an unhealthy relationship, is usually hinged on power and control. The person wants to have power over the next person. They want to have control. They want to be able to say, do this, do that, you know. And unfortunately, different people get into relationships for different reasons. Some people get into relationship because of financial reasons, you know. Some people just want to be loved. Some people just, maybe health reasons, they have a health challenge and they're just looking for empathy and things like that. So, you know, unfortunately they get into unhealthy relationship as a result of that. So power and control are the major things, you know, that causes unhealthy relationship.
Okay, thank you so much, Yowande. So I think we are going to take a break a little bit. We're going to go more into details. We are just trying to see what is an unhealthy relationship. She says that most of unhealthy relationships are always based on power control. And also she's saying that some people have to define why they are there into a relationship. What are they looking for into this relationship? Some people, they go into a relationship because maybe they need a comfort. Some people, they go into a relationship because financial problem. Some people, they go into a relationship because they just need somebody, you know, a companion. They need a friend. They need to be loved. So it is so important that you have to know what's the motivation, your motivation into this relationship. So we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back. We are going to go deep into an unhealthy relationship. See how can you identify that this relationship is unhealthy. What is power control relationship? How would you detect that this relationship is a controlling relationship? Most of the time, in a controlling relationship, there is no happiness in that relationship. So you're going to take a quick break for like 2 to 3 minutes, and then we'll be right back. We're going to go deeper about unhealthy relationships so that we can know how to make the right choices, and how we're going to be able to know whether this relationship, is it worth my time, or should I just drop it? Because most of people, they can be there into an abusive relationship and they fail to drop it, because a relationship should really nurture you, should bring happiness, should really bring in 1+ to you happiness or to you joy. If you start to be heartbroken all the time and feeling depressed with that relationship, I think it's about the time to be able to assess your relationship and do something about it. So we'll be right back in the next few minutes, okay? Hang on there.
Shalom peuple de Dieu, moi c'est le pasteur Roger Salomon. Je vous invite à pouvoir nous suivre. Nous avons une émission Slow Fire chaque mercredi dans notre télévision chaîne True World TV.
Ce soir,
de la puissance dynamique que Dieu met en vous, mes frères.
All right, welcome back, and thank you so much for being patient with us. And yeah, so we're going to go deeper now into this healthy relationship. So what we are talking about now, we are talking about how controlling in the relationship is the beginning of trouble in that relationship. It's the beginning of abuse into that relationship. Or a relationship, you know, it should be something that really bring you at peace, even though like the world may shut down. When you know you are in love, like nothing like love. Because I always tell people, everyone, they are longing for love. Why? love is not something that the money can buy. You know, I used to tell people, you know what every woman wants in a man? They want something that they cannot buy in the store. No woman wants money. No. Women are the most hard workers that you can ever want. You know, all women want, they want love. Why? Because this love, whatever the money you can make, you know, that's why you see you are a millionaire, but that million is not going to help you. No, you still need love. So what we need in the relationship usually is the love. It's not the material thing that you own. It's nothing like that. Love and affection is what a woman, I think even a man, wants in the relationship. Because there are some other men, their money is not an issue, but they're not happy in their relationship. Because why? Love is not there. So we are going to ask our guests to tell us a little bit more about an healthy relationship, and especially focus on that controlling part of it. How do you notice that this man is becoming controlling, this woman is beginning to be controlling, this relationship is not heading in the right direction? Because most of people, they get abused. Why? Because it comes back to that love of self. You know, if you love yourself, you should be able to expect that somebody comes to your life should honor that love that you have for yourself. You don't, if you love yourself, why would you allow anybody else to abuse you? You know? Yeah.
Okay.
Tell us a bit more deeper.
Okay. Thank you so much, Madam Claudine. Okay. So a lot of times, okay, like I earlier said that healthy relationship is rooted in I mean, all the things I mentioned about healthy, while unhealthy is rooted in power and control. Healthy is showing kindness to the next person and being considerate of the next person's feelings. Being kind, being positive with people makes, I mean, that smile on your face does something to someone. You know, just getting into a place and that beautiful smile, that wild smile, you know, the laugh, it does something to somebody, you know, or that frown does something to somebody as well. So if we have that at the back of our minds, you know, we're careful on how we come across to people. It's okay. That is not to say that when people are in relationships, it's okay to be angry. But hurtful anger is what we're talking against. We're speaking against. Hurtful anger is rooted in power and control. Because when that person is already thinking of hurting the next person, then it's based on you want to have power over the next person, you want to have control over the next person. You do not have rights on whatsoever on anybody, you know. And that is why we say that it's important to be able to know how to manage your what's it called? Your anger. It's very important to know how to if anything, supposing that your partner makes you annoyed,
mad,
you know, it happens even in families.
Oh yeah,
you get annoyed, you know. If there's an instance like that, would you say that because you're annoyed with your mom, you just throw something at them? No, you know, that is not healthy. You know, the same thing applies to your partner, making sure that, okay, yes, I'm annoyed. If you're annoyed, okay, so there are three things there's an action plan I talk about with people when we're talking about unhealthy relationship. I say that they should sit back and reflect for a minute. One, if they find that they are the ones abusing the next person, what do they think they can do to reduce it? You know, if they're the abuser, what kind of help do they think they need to stop being an abusive person? You know, the second thing I ask them to reflect on is, if you have a friend that is being abused, what would you do? You know, and you know, I get different answers based on that. If they are the abuser, they tell me that, oh, they need counseling, they need somebody to talk to. They said if they get annoyed, they want to walk out. I said, good. So that makes you not to hurt the next person, right? Okay. So if you find your friend that is being abused, what would you do? They said, oh, they will call 911. Okay.
Yeah.
They said they would advise their friends to get out of the relationship. I said, okay. So what else can you know, different answers comes up, you know. So these are things that people need to sit back and reflect upon, that, okay, let me write these things. It's like an action plan session I do for them, that if you are the abuser, if you are the, now the last one is, if you are the one that is being abused, what would you do? So 3 questions. The person being an abuser. The second one is, okay, if you have a friend that is being abused, what would you do? And the last one, the one that, what if you're the one that is even being abused? What would you do? So people begin to list out things, and during that session, people begin to think that, okay, so there are ways of getting out of relationships, you know. So a lot of times, we have different resources that I can share with them, depending on their needs. Okay, so what exactly, why are you still in this toxic relationship? Or is it because, you know, there are follow-up questions that you ask. Is it because you need financial help? Because some people leverage on the other person's needs. You know, when they know that, oh, that person needs this kind of thing. And again, for the abuser, a lot of times we realize that it's not just about them being, a lot of abusers say they don't want to be abusers. So many times it's from their background, you know, and that's why I said earlier about family units, that you see, we need to consciously show love to our kids, because when you if you don't consciously, yes, if you didn't grow up with love, please make efforts to show love to your kids, so that they can grow in love and they can begin to give love to other people as well. And I mean, it comes to a place of consent, you know.
So I want to ask you something. What is an example of like a relationship whereby, how would you know, what's an example of a controlled relationship?
A controlled relationship is someone that says, okay, I give an instance. My boyfriend, I like going out with my girlfriends, but I don't like my partner to know, because I know he won't be happy. Okay, that's an abusive one.
Yes.
Because when your partner does not like you being with your friends,
that's a control already.
That's control. You know, the person doesn't like what you like. Why are you still there? You know, my partner wants to read all my text messages. You don't. Are you saying you don't trust your partner?
And with no consent, you just
and
sneak
no consent, you sneak. Are you saying there's no? I mean, you don't trust your partner. You don't acknowledge boundaries, because healthy relationships, there has to be boundaries.
Yeah.
You know, these are all examples of unhealthy and abusive relationships. You know, so those are, yeah, it happens like that.
That's very powerful. Yeah. So she just said, you know, you're talking about unhealthy relationship, like. Usually in the relationship, there have to be that freedom between both of you, whereby you can feel to say, hey, I am going at this place or at this place. Let your partner say, okay, see you, just text me when you get there. When you see somebody, you go somewhere and they start asking you where you were, checking your phone, who texted you, who did you talk to, you know already that relationship is not a healthy relationship. Because in the healthy relationship, there should be able to be a trust. And also she mentioned something else, like, you know, when you have like a partner, you say, you know, this tonight I'm going to be with my friends, and it doesn't allow you to go with your friends. That's already controlling. It is not healthy at all to be controlled like that. So all those things shows an unhealthy relationship. So we want to make sure in the relationship you have to feel that you can easily tell your partner, say, hey, I am not going to be there, I'm going out with my friend. Your partner should see it as if that is normal. But if they have to be that kind of control, oh, what did you buy? Why did you this? Why did you that? You can see somebody, like, you are even scared to go to your account, you know? Oh, they're going to ask me where I put this $10. You know what? It's simple, you know? You have to be able to do what you want, to spend the money on what you want. Of course, not to abuse the finances in the house. You're not going to go and start buying things of 1,000 when you haven't paid the bills. That is not right. But as simple as, like me, I like to surprisingly go to on Amazon and just, you know, just bring something for $25. Like, if you start bringing me a headache, that, like, you know, that you can't be doing that. That is controlling. You know, so we need to make sure in the relationship we have a supportive relationship. You are supporting one another. They understand you, that you need a freedom in that relationship. You cannot be a prisoner of your partner in the relationship. That is not healthy at all. You have to be able to have that freedom to say, hey, this is what I'm going, or this time, you know, I'm going to Toronto to see my friend, my cousin, or whatever. When things is okay, you should be able to do that. And that's what we call like a healthy relationship. When you start to see somebody, you know, I see some other couple, you go to the place, you come late, your partner beats you up. And some other people in the other culture, they feel like, oh, that person is crazy about you.
It's, no, that's
because they beat you up, they're crazy about you, and then they think like it's cool. You know?
That's violence.
And also you say that, you know, you should be able to, if the relationship is abusive, you should be able to walk out. But there is a relationship also in the marriage. You know, in the marriage also that's something else. Marriage is a package. We enter not to come out. Supposed to be till death, you know, do us apart. But unfortunately, some other couple, they are not lucky. They got into an abusive relationship. So what would you be your word about that particular woman or man? Some men also are being abused by their wife in that abusive relationship. What do you think they should do? Those women that might be in an abusive relationship. And I always say, when I get married, some people, they say, oh, me, I got married for I'm going to stay in this marriage for my kids. When I got married, was those kids there? I say, no. In my marriage, it's all about me. I don't stay in my marriage because of my kids. When I meet this guy, the kids wasn't there. I am in marriage because of me first. I need to have that love. I cannot sacrifice my love life, sit there into an abusive relationship just because of the kids. You know, what about if you die? Those kids will die after you?
Oh, yeah. None of them is going to die.
They'll continue their life.
They'll live their life.
So that's where comes the love of your own heart.
Yeah, you need to love yourself. If once a marriage is getting into the level of domestic violence, you know, either of the parties, I mean, if you really love yourself, if you love yourself and you truly love the kids,
you see, imagine
if you love yourself, you want to stay alive, right? Then you first take care of yourself, then you take care of even in the plane. You know, when we enter into the plane, and there's an emergency, they will tell you to first put the mask
on you
before even your child. So don't make efforts to do for the child, because at the end of the day, you might not get to put on the face of the child, let alone put on your face. So the same applies to you being in an abusive a relationship that's, you know, you're already experiencing violence, you know, physical violence. If you're already experiencing that, you might not live to take care of the kids you're in there for.
You see, yeah, that's the truth. So as we have all been talking about this healthy relationship, you are there, you are listening to us. Maybe you are there, you are following, you are thinking about a special someone that maybe you are planning to date. Whatever you are thinking about your relationship, we want you to know that you comes first. Love yourself more than anything. And if you're going to invite somebody in your life, no relationship should ever be toxic. If a relationship is toxic, get out of it. You come first, everything else can wait. Even when you are choosing friends, what are those friends? Are they bring a 1+ to your life? Is there anything that you are benefiting from that friends that you have, or they are draining you? Your friends should be a blessing, not a liability. All those things you have to be able to eliminate and see what benefits me. There's nothing wrong. Some people we were talking about selfish. Of course, most people, they fail because they fail to love themselves. They expect somebody else to love them. When they don't get that love from somebody else, there you are, they get depressed, they become lonely. You know, some people, they are longing, waiting for somebody to love them. While you know what? I love myself. Who cares whether you love me or not? You know, it's so important to be into ourselves. So we are almost at the end of our show, Yowande. If you have something, if you want to like wrap up, what message do you want to send to the people out there on the topic of today?
Okay, thank you so much, Madam Claudine. I say that, is it possible to be single and have fun?
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
Yes.
You know, so whatever you're doing with that partner, I'm sure you can have fun with yourself doing those things. I would leave these words with you that it is possible. Being in a healthy relationship is very possible. And loving yourself is very important. Without the love of self, I mean, you don't give what you don't have. Okay? So I implore us to love ourselves. And then we love ourselves, we love our neighbors just like ourselves. Thank you.
That's wonderful. So we have heard, men, all of us that are following us, we want you to love yourself. We don't want you to be sitting there expecting somebody to love you. And that's how you end up by picking up somebody on the street that you do not know, because you feel like you are longing for somebody else to love you. But you're going to have to remember, you are the first love of your own heart. Yes, that's a significant somebody. Yeah, we are all longing to be loved, to have an intimate relationship. Hey, you need to have a checklist. Make yourself a checklist. When that guy comes to invite you for a coffee, what are you looking for in that guy? You have to have an expectation. You have to have a tick, 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 tick. When you are talking, tick, 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 tick. When you see that the condition that's full, then give him a second chance, the next date. Okay, talk. As you are talking, listening, we just got a little tips like ask him a question and recap at the end. Go back and ask the same question, just to see if this person is trustable. That is, the person is honest. Because you want somebody who's gonna, not somebody who's gonna tell you that he's got gold and the silver while he's got nothing. Remember, what you are looking for is a love. It's not something that you can buy in the store. Money can never guarantee your happiness in your relationship. Never. But you may have $0. But once you love each other, you can build a paradise here on earth.
Absolutely.
So today we have learned that you have no time to be stressed out about trying to find a relationship. The relationship that is made for you, that relationship will find you. Sit down, do what you have to do. Don't seek an approval of anybody. Most of people, they give in on the peer pressure. Oh, my friend wants my hair to be like this. My hair, I can't go to school with the hair like that. I can't do this. You know, just be yourself. That this one make you happy? Go ahead and do it. That one doesn't make him happy? Don't do anything to please anybody else. As long as you are happy, it is enough, it is complete. So I just want to thank so much my guest here, Yowande. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you for this rich information that we just learned from here. Personally, I got something for myself. I am coming from this show, I feel so empowered to really love myself. I feel so empowered to really accept myself, because most of the time people, we do fail to accept ourselves. We do fail to accept our circumstances. We do fail to accept what we do not change, especially in this time of COVID. Oh, so many people are stressed out with circumstances. You are working in the house. Hey, come on, take it and accept it. We are all in it together. There's no reason you should lack peace and joy. Find another way to have fun. Make sure maybe if you have these clothes, let them make you a mask that's matching your clothes. Make it stylish. What else can we do?
Yeah.
It's a new life. It's a new style.
It's a new style.
You know, we have to educate our mind that this is what we are up to, and we cannot change it. So thank you so much for coming, and so our next show is going to be next Tuesday, and so we hope you're going to be connected with us again. So you were watching the True Way Television, and this is our channel, is our community channel. You are very welcome to connect with us anytime, or if you have anything that you feel like you can share with the community, inbox me, contact me. We'll be more than happy to host you, because we are here into educating our community, educating ourselves, empower ourselves health-wise, because we need to live in order to achieve all the plans that we have. So thank you so much. I want to say bye-bye.
Bye.
See you next Tuesday.
Yeah.
You are watching the True Word Television, spreading the true word of salvation.
Hata yote yabadilike.
Shalom, Bwana Yesu asifiwe, na usalimu wote katika jina la Yesu. Naitwa Neema Mdosa, ni mwimbaji wa nyimbo za Injili, nakaa Tanzania, Dar es Salaam. Na kukaribisha sana kutazama nyimbo zangu na neno la Mungu na vitu vingi vitakavyokutia nguvu kwenye TV yetu, True Word TV, ambayo iko Canada, na naamini ya kwamba utabarikiwa. Waalike ndugu zako, waalike marafiki zako kila siku kutazama TV yetu, na wapenda.
Ukuhitaji ushauri wa mtu ili uniinue, saini yako naweka mwenyewe, huhitaji mshauri.
Keep watching the True Word TV.
Understand it. And one hand here is to say, but I still feel it.
were born after 1976. But some of you, you remember what we did back in 76. Now the struggle has changed. But we used to chant. Now we are chanting for Jesus. Jesus Christ, the Savior. Jesus Christ, the healer. Jesus Christ, provider. Jesus Christ, the Savior. Jesus Christ, Redeemer. Jesus Christ, Sanctifier. Hey, ta, ta. Hey, ta, ta. Hey, ta, ta. Hey, ta, ta. Jesus Christ, Jehovah, Jehovah, Jehovah Jireh, Jehovah, Jehovah Shammah, Jehovah, Jehovah Rohi, Jehovah, God El Elyon, Jehovah, Jehovah Nissi, Jehovah, Jehovah Shalom, Jehovah, Mikadesh. Hey, ta, ta, hey, ta, ta, hey, ta, ta. When you begin to feel good, you begin to move in a certain way. To express that you feel good, this is what you move. wako pastor. Uko bishop.
Il a chassé tous les démons qui me poursuivaient. Oh, je suis libre plus que vainqueur. Alléluia.
Bonjour tout le monde, et moi c'est la sœur Abigail Nancy Kayenga de la Suède. Je vous invite à suivre la chaîne télévision True World TV. Là vous allez trouver la parole de Dieu, les émissions chrétiennes et la prédication. Vous trouverez aussi mes clips vidéo. N'oubliez pas, suivez-moi sur True World TV.
Keep watching the True World TV.